Employees of the OR Tambo district municipality in the Eastern Cape joined hands as they called for an end to violence in their community against vulnerable groups. This follows the murder of one of the district's employees, Namhla Mtwa, who was gunned down at the gate of her home 2 weeks ago. Employees dressed in black took to the streets of Mthatha, making their message public. Nkululeko Nyembezi was there.
We are coming live from Mthatha. Of course, this is a memorial service of Namhla Mtwa, who was brutally killed 2 weeks ago. You remember that he was an employee at OR Tambo district municipality, and then he was gunned down on her arrival at her home. And then today they are remembering her. There is a memorial service that is going on here. But to get more information, we are now joined by Nkululeko Nyembezi, who is a member of the Mthatha Women Support Center. Mama, for sure you are dealing with these kinds of incidents almost every day. Can you just take us through what kind of incidents that you are dealing with?
Oh, thank you so much. As the Mthatha Women Support Center, we deal with support victims of gender-based violence. We provide counseling to all victims and to families. And also in some communities here, in rural communities, we do support groups. We support groups on women who experience gender-based violence, who experience abuse, who experience domestic violence. Because some of the cases they don't report, and some of rural women, they normalize abuse, and also they think that it's normal. He loves me when he beats me, when we calling names or calling me, or it's okay, and it's like the way that we do. So sometimes we need to educate. We do education sessions, we do support groups, we do awareness campaign on that. What is abuse? How do you see that you are being abused? How do you see, and how does it affect you as a person, as an individual, as a victim, and also as the relevant person? How does it affect you, and how does it affect the family and the children, mentally, social, psychological? Because some of the things that have been, or some of the bad names that we receive, they affect you mentally, they affect you psychologically, even at work, at school. So we unpack those issues and unpack abuse as a whole. How can you experience? How can you see yourself?
Okay, we understand that in most, especially rural areas, the victims of gender-based violence, they don't report. Instead, the family members, they would opt to resolve the matter within the family. How do you deal with such a
Yes, in those cases, we do awareness campaigns on that, and we do information sharing that. How does it affect the victim psychologically, even if this victim is a child and this violence happened when she was a child or he was a child, and how does it will affect him or her when she is a grown-up woman? So even social, how does it affect her? Because we want the family to be clarified, because in cases that if family have its interest when solving that issue, because you will see that the perpetrator has some power that he has. So we need to unpack to the family, because some woman, and she will find that no man, he is Mr. So and so, this matter should be handled, and we don't want to be exposed or being seen as this family. So we provide them with information, and also to counsel them, because to empower them mentally, and to see that it will be,
Yeah, thank you so much. That was Nkululeko Nyembezi. She's a member of Mthatha Support Center. You remember that Mthatha was notorious of this gender-based violence. But now I'm joined by the pastor in the OR Tambo, Pastor Ntutu. Pastor, for sure, ezintoni asibona senzeka imihla nezolo mhlawumbe siziphi izintoni eniqiniseka ukuba niyancedisana ekuhlaleni nokulungisa amaxhoba engakumbe gender-based violence kwindawo ehlala kuzo?
Imihla ngemihla siyabanika i-counseling, sibathuthuzele, siyafuna ukuthi bathethe, abanye babo bayonqena uthetha. Kulapho ke ngokele kuba kusisa ezinto ziyasenzeka, kanti ukuba umuntu uyayithetha into emehleleyo siyakwazi ukuthi sihlangabezane naye. Ukuba ngaba uthe waripota mhlawumbe kwabomthetho abakhange bathathe enxaxheba, siye kubo sithi i-cases mazivuselelwe, abantu abenza ububi babanjwe, ukuze singakwazi ukuthi sihlale nabantu abenza izinto ebantwini ebantwini sibabukele bekuthi sihleli kunye nabo bengabanjwa.
Ngokuqinisekileyo le imeko kaNamhla inithathe ngendlela engeyiyo nixhelekile nisisifundisi.
Sixhelekile sisifundisi ngoba asazi ukuthi bekuqaleke kanjani. Xa sibona ukuthi lento ibihambe kanjani ngoba sizibonile ipictures sitrenda ukuthi ibingekho nhle kakhulu ngoba ngokuye yasibeka engxakini, so asazi noba kahle yeyiphe yona nto yenzekileyo ngoba iqale ezifotweni iend up isifa. It means bekufanele ba iattendwe kwangexesha.
Thank you very much. That was Pastor Ntutu, who's speaking on behalf of the church fraternity, if I put that way. You remember that the way she, or maybe the victim passed on really is in a brutal fashion. But the pastor is saying that really this should have been attended earlier because the gender-based violence begins small, in a small pockets, that they end up maybe in this way, in a fashion where Namhla really ended, or maybe she was brutally killed. Back to studio.